Welcome to Gnenosis Deep Dive, the show where we dive deep into the profound mysteries of consciousness, reality, and the forces shaping our world. I'm your host, Ethan Stone, and alongside me is the brilliant and captivating Ava Sinclair. In each episode, we'll be reading excerpts from The Spiritual Philanthropist, Ravshiva's groundbreaking podcast as we speculate on his mind-bending hypotheses and unravel the abstract ideas that challenge everything we think we know. Today, we'll take a closer look at Ravshiva's thoughts on the convergence of spirituality, quantum mechanics, and consciousness, exploring how these seemingly separate realms are deeply interconnected. Stay tuned as we probe deeper into his philosophy and continue our quest to understand the nature of reality. Make sure to subscribe for future episodes and, of course, hear from the man himself, T.S.P. Ravshiva.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. So you've probably seen those headlines everywhere, right? Will AI take your job in 2025? Here's the truth.
Yeah, that question is definitely top of mind for a lot of people.
Exactly. And that's what we're really digging into today. We've got this fascinating discussion piece. It's called AI God Mode, GPT-5, Devon AI, and the Future of Work.
Oh, right. That piece.
And what's super interesting, I think, is how they pulled the insights together. They actually used a tool, Notebook LM.
To sift through AI papers.
Yeah, to research all the latest AI papers and basically synthesize predictions about these, well, pretty advanced models like GPT-5 and Devon AI and, what they might mean for work.
So it's trying to cut through the noise using the research itself.
Precisely. So our mission today is pretty straightforward. What are the key predictions? What are the smart folks actually saying these big AI leaps could mean for, well, for your career, for the job market overall?
Getting right into it, the synthesis on GPT-5s is pretty eye-opening. It's not just like a slightly better chatbot.
Right, not just version 4.1.
No, exactly. It's showing these really significant jumps in, well, understanding and generating text that feels much more human, dealing with way more complexity.
Complexity how? Like what kind of tasks?
Think about things needing genuine reasoning. Summarizing really dense, intricate documents, maybe even drafting pretty sophisticated first drafts of reports, things like that.
Okay, so we're not just talking about AI writing like marketing slogans anymore.
Definitely not. The predictions point towards AI moving into areas that, traditionally needed quite a bit of human cognitive effort, especially around processing complex information.
Okay, that makes sense. So potential shifts in roles heavy on information analysis, but then there's Devon AI. That sounds different. What did the synthesized research highlight there?
Yeah, Devon AI seems to be playing in a slightly different sandbox. If GPT-5 is more about those cognitive, information-based tasks, the research suggests Devon AI is zeroing in on the actual doing of software development, the practical side.
You mean like writing code?
Writing code, yeah, but also potentially testing it, debugging, maybe even deploying it, kind of autonomously.
Wow. Okay, autonomously. That sounds like it could really change how software gets made.
That's the potential, yeah. It could automate a lot of the maybe more routine coding tasks, the bug fixes.
Yeah.
Stuff that takes up a good chunk of developers' time right now.
That is potentially huge. But, okay, here's the million-dollar question maybe. How fast? Are we really talking about seeing this stuff, GPT-5, Devon AI, actually impacting jobs by, say, 2025? Is it like a switch flips?
Well, the synthesized predictions, they don't really paint that picture. Not like immediate mass unemployment next year.
Okay, that's reassuring.
Sort of. The emphasis seems to be much more on a transformation of jobs, rather than just elimination.
Transformation how?
Well, think about it. Even if AI can automate specific tasks, you still need to integrate these tools into how companies actually work. There's workflow changes, there's training, and crucially, there's still the need for human oversight, for strategy.
Right, someone needs to manage the AI, check its work, decide what it should be doing.
Exactly. So that integration process, the need for human judgment, that likely slows down any kind of, widespread job displacement. The research hints more towards your job maybe evolving.
Evolving, like AI takes over certain bits.
Yeah. AI handles some components, maybe the more repetitive or data-intensive parts, freeing you up potentially to focus on higher-level stuff. Strategic thinking, complex problem-solving, creativity, the things AI isn't quite there with yet.
So less robots are coming for all jobs and more. Your job description might get a serious update. That feels like a really important difference.
Absolutely. I think that's the key takeaway from the synthesized research, at least for the near term. The power is seen in augmenting what humans can do, making us more efficient rather than just wholesale replacement.
Okay, makes sense. We should probably be thinking about how to use these tools then.
That seems to be the smart approach, yeah. How can they help us do our jobs better, faster, or focus on the uniquely human skills?
Right. So let's kind of wrap this up. Based on our deep dive into the synthesized research on GPT-5 and Devin AI, the outlook for 2025 isn't necessarily like an AI jobs apocalypse.
No, probably not.
But definitely a period of significant change and evolution, maybe driven by AI getting much better at specific complex tasks, both cognitive and practical, like coding.
And that implies shifts in what skills are valued and just generally how we approach work.
Yeah. It's also crucial to remember this field is moving incredibly fast, isn't it?
Oh, incredibly. What we're discussing based on today's research, well, things could look different even 6 months from now. The real-world impact depends on so many things still playing out.
Totally. Which kind of leads us perfectly to a final thought for you, the listener. Thinking about all this potential change coming down the line, maybe sooner, maybe later, what steps can you actually start taking now?
Good question.
How do you prepare? How do you adapt for a future where AI is just much more woven into the fabric of how we work? It's not just about knowing about AI, right?
Right. It's about figuring out your place, your value in that evolving landscape. How do you position yourself?
Something definitely worth thinking about.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're getting into something that's definitely buzzing around. Will AI take your job in 2025?
Yeah, it's a big question, for sure.
It is. And, we've been seeing these incredible AI tools hitting the headlines, things that look like they could just change everything about work.
Absolutely. The pace is just, wow, wild, isn't it? We're looking at things like GPT-5, really impressive coding capabilities, needs less human input,
Right.
And then there's Devin AI. That one doesn't just write code, it actually sets it up, deploys it in a software environment. That's a pretty big leap.
It really feels like a major shift is coming. So
Yeah.
our mission here in this deep dive is to cut through some of that hype, maybe, and see what the research actually suggests about the job market impact, specifically for 2025. We even used Notebook LM, actually, to help us sort of sift through the latest AI papers and expert forecasts on this. So kicking things off, what were the kind of initial takeaways from that research?
Well, what's really interesting is, okay, yes, these AI capabilities are like rocketing forward, super advanced, but actually getting these tools into the day-to-day workflow and seeing them really impact specific jobs.
This video is brought to you by Forbidden Mantra Press, a publishing house dedicated to bringing you books that challenge the boundaries of perception and thought. If you're passionate about exploring the unknown, understanding the unseen forces, and questioning the very nature of reality, Forbidden Mantra Press offers the resources you need to fuel your intellectual and spiritual journey.
Archons Unveiled, the non-human manipulation of human consciousness, the Archons Series Book 2. In a world increasingly shaped by technology and social media, have we unknowingly become avatars in a grand, orchestrated illusion? Archons Unveiled challenges everything you think you know about reality, control, and human consciousness. Guided by profound visions and meditative insights, the spiritual philanthropist, Ravshiva, takes you on a journey that spans ancient texts, modern technological manipulation, and the hidden forces that shape human perception. This groundbreaking book reveals how alien and non-human intelligences, referred to as Archons, have woven a complex web of influence, steering humanity into a digital prison disguised as progress. From the rise of AI and social media algorithms to the spiritual battle for awareness, Archons Unveiled unveils the unsettling truth behind modern civilization's mental captivity. Through a blend of historical analysis and personal revelations, Ravshiva highlights how human resilience and collective awakening can break the archonic grip and restore the sovereignty of our spirit. Are we living in a draconian simulation where consciousness itself is hacked and controlled? Or can we transcend the illusion and reclaim our divine essence? Archons Unveiled is more than just a book. It's a call to awaken, to question the world around us, and to break free from the matrix of control. Prepare to challenge your beliefs, rethink your reality, and explore the truth about the unseen forces that shape our lives. You can find the link to purchase this book in the description.
And now, let's return to our exploration.
That seems to be, well, a slower burn. It's more gradual.
Okay, why is that?
Think about the practical side. You need the right infrastructure, right? You need massive training for people. Organizations have to fundamentally change how they operate.
Right. That stuff doesn't happen overnight.
Exactly. It all just takes time to roll out properly.
So this idea of like a sudden AI takeover, wiping out jobs next year, maybe that's less likely than some headlines make it sound.
It seems that way based on what we're seeing now. It's more like these powerful tools are emerging, yes, but widespread adoption, the kind that really disrupts things, that's still unfolding.
Okay.
Which brings up a really key point. Even with super smart models like GPT-5 or Devin AI, are there limitations?
Yeah.
Things that stop them just replacing humans completely right away.
Yeah, what does the analysis say there?
It suggests that AI is fantastic at specific, clearly defined tasks, no question. But the things many jobs actually need day to day, adaptability, critical thinking with nuance, solving really messy, complex problems.
That still needs a human touch.
It seems heavily reliant on human intelligence, human intuition, yeah.
That's a really important difference, isn't it? It's not just, can the AI technically do task X?
Right.
It's more about how task X fits into the bigger picture, who checks the quality, who adds the context, and just, human collaboration, innovation.
Yeah.
Those skills.
Exactly.
So for you listening, maybe worrying about your job security in 2025, the picture looks more like work is going to change significantly rather than just disappear overnight.
Precisely. That's the core tension, really. You've got this amazing AI tech speeding ahead, but then you have the reality of getting it integrated into the workforce, into the economy. It's just a complex, ongoing process.
And some research even suggests new roles might pop up, right? Like managing these AI systems.
Yeah, potentially. Roles focused on that human-AI interaction, making sure things work smoothly, overseeing the AI's output. It's not just about loss. There could be new opportunities created, too.
Okay, so wrapping up this deep dive then. Yes, the headlines about AI taking jobs are, well, they're concerning. But looking at the research for 2025 specifically, it points to something more nuanced. Less job apocalypse, more powerful tools are here. They will change how we work. Some tasks get automated. Maybe new skills become essential.
It's an evolution, not an instant replacement. That seems to be the complex reality, maybe the shocking truth behind the hype. It's not simple. It demands we adapt.
Right.
And maybe that's the final thought for you listening. Instead of just seeing AI as this looming threat, think about how you can proactively engage with it. Tools like Notebook LM, which we use for this deep dive, you can use them too to stay informed, understand what's changing.
So it's about learning and adapting, not just waiting to see what happens in 2025.
Exactly. Being proactive, staying curious, that seems like the best way to navigate what's coming.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the mysteries of consciousness and reality. We hope today's exploration into Ravshiva's insights has sparked new questions and perspectives for you to ponder. Don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned for our next episode, where we'll continue to unravel the complexities of the mind and the universe. We'll be back soon with more thought-provoking discussions, and remember, as always, to keep questioning, keep exploring, and keep diving deeper. Until next time, this is Ethan Stone and Ava Sinclair, signing off from Gnenosis Deep Dive. And remember, stay curious, and stay tuned for more from TSP Ravshiva himself.